Hello, and welcome to Ms. PM Reads Christian Content, where we are continuing in Abscond by GG Wagner. And in our last video, Lyzee had her baby girl, and the nurse needed to assign a name to the child. And so she named her daughter Jamie Quinn. So this is called The Long Goodbye. Leaning her head against the passenger window, Lyzee felt the heat of the sun caressing her cheek. Twisting in her seat, she brought her clasped hands to rest under her chin and caught the lingering scent of Jamie on her sleeve. She sucked in the tantalizing scent of baby wash and lotion. Her lip began to quiver as she mustered enough courage to look at the little form, slumped and sleeping soundly. "How is our little passenger doing back there?" Peggy asked. All Lyzee could do was shake her head, a pained smile plastered on her face. She couldn't have spoken if she wanted to for the lump in her throat. Knowing Jamie was going to be happy and loved, why couldn't she stop crying? Peggy patted Lyzee's shoulder. "It's a shame Mark had to get back to work. I was looking forward to another movie marathon at the cabin." What was the name of that show we watched last time?" Lyzee pushed her emotional state back and forced out a response. "Stranger Things." "Yes, I remember now." Peggy laughed aloud before she continued. "You know there is nothing to worry about. Gwen, Sharon, and I have enough knowledge about babies to get Jamie through until this custody issue is settled." I don't know. MMUHH. Okay. Lyzee had not fully contemplated the impact of taking Jamie from the hospital would have on her heart. Her mind fluctuated with a tsunami of emotion so powerful the pain took her breath as she gasped. Peggy's eyes bounced between the road and Lyzee, concern evident in her voice. "I know we have filed all the paperwork, and the temporary custody goes into effect day after tomorrow. But if you don't have peace about this, you need to tell me," Peggy said. "No, that's not it. I felt that peace when I made that adoption plan. I really felt like God was working a miracle. The very thing I nearly destroyed is going to bless this other family. I feel that now more than ever. But Milo, I just can't understand why," Lyzee said. Reaching for a tissue from the console, Lyzee checked once again on Jamie, listening to the breathing coming from the car seat that sounded more like a kitten purring than a sleeping baby, wishing she had at least some of that contentment. She felt Peggy's eyes on her and waited for it. Subtlety was not her strong suit. "I think this is a bad idea, you coming with me to take Jamie," Peggy said. "I'm just going as far as Samuel's Gate. I know it's not necessary, but after having that baby with me for 9 months, I had to. If Milo should gain some form of custody, I will never stop fighting," Lyzee said. "All right, this is our exit," Peggy said. "Gwen sent a message and said for us to go on up to the cabin. She and Sharon are stopping at the store to pick up some supplies," Lyzee said. As Peggy turned onto the gravel road and the cabin almost in sight, Lyzee turned to check on Jamie. The pacifier that had covered a good portion of that little face was gone, and Lyzee smiled, noticing a pout form. In a matter of seconds, the cry had escalated into a pitiful, repetitive "nah." Lyzee's heartbeat quickened, and she was anxious as she waited for the car to come to a stop. "You and Jamie go on in. I'm going to get our bags. The door's unlocked and the lights are on," Peggy said. Cradling Jamie close to her heart, Lyzee whispered into that perfect little ear, savory every second, "You, little one, are going to have the best life." The tears choked her words into silence. The tap on the window made Lyzee jump. Jamie began wriggling in her arms, letting out a pitiful cry half before falling right back to sleep. Babies are so funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you two, Gwen said in a whisper. I didn't see you there, Lyzee said. Are you having any second thoughts, baby? No one is going to fault you for that. We all care about you and Jamie, Gwen said. Lyzee shook her head, wishing she could stop the tears. She loved Jamie, but knowing there was that little sliver of her heart that held resentment scared her, understanding now that this must have been how her own mother felt about her. She had tried her whole life to be good enough, but always sensed that void in her mother's heart, where unconditional love for her child should have lived. This baby deserves more than that, she thought, focusing her attention on the boat bobbing on the horizon. She took a deep breath. I have no reservations. I can say that in all honesty and with peace in my heart. I still want to stay anonymous. Is it going to be possible with Milo trying to contest the adoption? Lyzee asked. He really doesn't have any rights. Peggy told me he signed all of the papers. You shouldn't worry too much about that, Gwen said. Interesting. Later in the house, Lyzee turned the dial on the bottle warmer with one hand, swaying back and forth, staring into little inquisitive eyes. It's coming. 4 minutes seems like an eternity when you're hungry. She watched, feeling helpless as that little bottom lip began to pucker, and then a heartbreaking wail followed. The quiet of the cabin disturbed, and Lyzee hoped no one came in to check on them. She cooed sympathetically, covering the little face, staring up at her in kisses. With bottle and baby in hand, Lyzee sank into the couch. She sang softly as Jamie sucked with vigor, satisfaction showing after several big gulps and a swallow. Her heart swelled as she snuggled the warm baby bundle close to her chest and cooed soft replies to the satisfied sighs that escaped around the nipple. She moved her face closer and smiled into gray eyes that fixed on hers. Here I am, little one, Lyzee whispered. They held each other's gaze until Jamie succumbed to the warm milk that made those eyelids almost impossible to keep open. Lyzee moved the nipple, tickling those perfect red lips, and her heart nearly exploded when Jamie smiled around the bottle. Burying her face in the silky fine baby hair, she breathed in, leaving kisses on that porcelain skin and that precious smile. Lyzee's heart fluttered. You're making this hard on me, you know that? Lyzee placed Jamie in Gwen's waiting arms, adjusting the fleece blanket to cover those little pink toes. I'm going to shower. I won't be long. Adjusting the water, Lyzee squeezed her eyes tight. The warmth washed over her until the tears began to flow, mixing freely with the spray. She wondered now if Peggy had been right. Maybe she should have stayed in Tennessee and let Jamie go then. With her eyes closed, she could see Jamie, and the likeness, to Milo was so obvious. That thought sent a cold chill running down Lyzee's spine, and she shuddered. Opening the door just enough to peek in, Lyzee caught sight of Gwen snuggling with Jamie. Without making a sound, she pushed the door closed. She plopped onto the bed, securing her robe with a free hand, and reached for her bag with the other, rummaging until she pulled out a pen and her notepad, knowing she had procrastinated long enough. She pulled the pillow to her chest and buried her face as she thought. There were so many important things she wanted to say. Wadding sheet after sheet, Lyzee stared at yet another blank page. The pressure of finding the perfect words to express the amount of love she felt was overwhelming. One day, Jamie would start questioning and would need to know why she had done this. Pressing the pen to paper, she began writing from her heart. The tears, warm and salty, streaming down her cheek, splattered onto the paper, causing the ink to bleed. And we're going to stop there. The next section is titled Courtroom. Looks like Milo is still pretty insistent. All right, you guys. I hope you have a blessed day, and we'll see what happens next time.